The influenza community is rather insular and maybe even a bit arrogant in some of our responses. I think we all need, those of us in the food community, need to take these comments to heart and really do a better job.
I want to turn to the next question. Mrs. Donkers.
Okay, thank you. I'm a little bit confused because the impression that I kept from hearing the discussion was very much a lack of clarity and a lack of consensus on the benefits as well as the risks. And you seemed so very certain from what you heard in these panels that we are in agreement about that. And that's important. It might be just my problem because I'm not a part of your scientific influenza research community. But it's also important if you take it as an aim to educate the public on, for instance, the benefits of this research or the risks. So I would propose to this scientific community of influenza research, as present in this audience, that you really make an effort to much clearer identify the possible benefits and the benefits that have been reached already, and do the same for the risks. Because I've been here for 2 days, and I'm not clear at all, so try to be much more precise and clear about that.
Thank you. I'll turn to our moderators.
I thought we had, the question was the gain of function and the benefits of gain of function and the 4 questions. I thought we had answered those 4 questions, raising the benefits and the risks. Of course, we can always do better.
I think Marion brought up a very important point that has been discussed at various levels, and I just want to take less than a minute to maybe add a little bit specificity to it and perhaps satisfy, Marion, your concern. And I think it was a comment that was made by Malik Paris in the panel that he was on. And that is, when you talk about the benefits of the research, we have to be careful to make sure we don't talk only about the absolutely immediate benefit of a research. Because the point is that if you, for example, take surveillance as one component of a benefit, there's been a lot of criticism that if you know the mutations that were identified by Ron and Yoshi, that it wouldn't immediately help you with surveillance. That may be true, but it could really greatly help you in the whole functionality of what happens when something adapts from one host to another. So I know that was not articulated that way, but I think maybe for people who are, quote, general public, they'd understand. It's almost kind of like doing research that you don't have the fundamental benefit of it the next day, but accumulatively over a period of years, you may have a greater insight into the whole concept of host adaptability.
First of all, I would like to echo and thank Mariana, because I'm afraid that I agree with her. I also heard no overwhelming consensus that the benefits of this gain-of-function research outweighed the risks. On the contrary, I heard many reservations expressed by any number of panelists, and one panelist was opposed to this research proceeding. He's no longer here. I wanted to step back. I just wanted to make that point, and Mariana, you were not alone in feeling that way. The reason that our foundation, that we became involved in this debate, is that we see the whole H5N1 research controversy as part of a much larger problem. And that problem is public trust. As a vaccine research foundation, part of our mandate is building public trust. In building public trust in vaccines, in vaccine research, and in biomedical research in general. The impact of the H5N1 research controversy undermines all of our efforts in that field. This is at a time when we have an anti-vaccine movement, when we have what sometimes appears to be half of Hollywood is opposed to vaccines and immunization. In France, the anti-vaccine movement has merged with the anti-GM foods movement, which adds another level of concern. In Europe, many people are opposed to anything that is genetically modified. I don't need to remind people here in this audience. So I have a question. I believe that there is a genuine desire on the behalf of the organizers of this meeting and other meetings for greater public involvement in this discussion. I'm not sure that that desire is shared by everyone, in particular in the influencer research community. But let's say that there is a genuine desire for greater, genuine public involvement in this debate. Here's my question. How do we involve the public? I don't know the answer to that question. It's part of our mandate, and I simply don't know the answer. Who would we invite to a meeting of this kind to represent the public? We don't have an obvious community out there to invite. It's not like HIV, where we have an HIV community, or even cancer, where we have patient advocates and a whole community of cancer survivors to consult with.
Thank you.
I am stuck and would welcome your help, because I think other meetings that follow this, we need to find them. There's no one here representing the public. I have looked. There's no one. We need to find a way to involve them.
Thank you. An excellent question. I mean, anyone here wants to try to give an answer to it? Or do we step out of the community? Amy.
Go ahead, Rob.
The point that we must engage the public is absolutely correct. We must. And I would like to hear from anyone in the audience who is here from the public, their opinions. So please, let's hear it. Your points are very important for us to hear. I find it hard to believe that there is no one in the room representing the public. So if there is, let's hear it.
I guess we all representing the public in some sense.